Why are INTJs so different? INTJs are one of the rarest types in the world. They're also known as the architects, because they love planning for the future and strategizing about how to make things happen. This video will explore what makes INTJs so different, with a focus on their core characteristics, direction, and sometimes ominous abilities. If you're an INTJ, it's likely that you've felt misunderstood at some point in your life. To understand what INTJs are all about, we need to dial back all the way to their core. It's the only way other people, as well as themselves, are able to find a true understanding of why INTJs are so different, and why they are invaluable in our society. INTJs Complexity. Let me start by saying that INTJs are indeed a very hard type to understand. Their motivations seem to contradict each other. In the sense that they are very logical and detached, at the same time their true motivation drives them to want to seek out what's best for the collective in the end. Most INTJs would agree they like to stay in the shadows. They are not ones to put themselves out there actively seeking to be acknowledged, yet they seem to pull the strings from the background, providing direction. They always seem to know the best course of action, but oftentimes they have no idea how they came up to that realization, at least in a way that can be verbalized. They know what they know, but don't always know how they know what they know. I apologize for the wordplay, I'll say it again with pauses. INTJs don't always know how they know what they know, they just do. How is that for complexity? Yes, INTJs are a very interesting breed, but that doesn't make them wrong, bad, or weird. It just makes them unique, in the way that every type is unique. It's all about pinpointing the uniqueness of everyone. That being said, I have to admit that INTJs can still differentiate themselves from other types, because their unique ability cannot be replicated. Let me explain. INTJ's unique ability consists of first and foremost, seeing the end result in its complete or finished state. Call it insight, foretelling, glimpsing into the future, tracking the outcome, whatever it may be. NI in the dominant position is really powerful. The best way I can describe it is by saying that it feels like it takes the past, SI, into consideration, looks at the present reality, processes the information, and casts it into the future, all at once. It's a very powerful skill. Of course they are not always going to be right, there are too many variables, but most of the time if they don't hit the mark, they get close. INFJs possess the same power, but their focus is directed to people, the human side, or nurture side. That is why they are so good at directing people. While INTJs' focus is more logical and epistemological, they are more tilted towards ideas or ideology, not necessarily people's feelings, but what would work better for people. While some of the other types' gifts or uniqueness can be replicated with experience and nurture, dominant NI is almost impossible to recreate. For example, ISFPs are great at absorbing the sensory around them to create masterpieces that speak to the soul and awaken people to the beauty of the human experience. Although they do it better than anyone, other people are still able to develop the skill, maybe not quite exquisitely as ISFPs are capable of doing, but it's still an accessible skill in the end. The fault in INTJs. INTJs' ability to predict or track outcomes is only accurate within the confines of their own experience and knowledge, and this is where their gift can fall flat. Due to their extremely introverted nature, most INTJs end up limiting themselves. If their pool of knowledge is reduced, so is the accuracy of what they believe will happen or occur, causing INTJs' intuition to be inaccurate. Another way INTJs can limit themselves is when they become corrupted. We already established that INTJs are complex and very difficult to understand. People label them as weird or know-it-alls, because they don't understand why INTJs come to their conclusions. Heck, even INTJs have trouble with that sometimes. Most people don't like to be corrected or be told their choices are going to lead them down harmful paths, so INTJs stop trying to help. If no one is going to listen to them, then why bother? And this leads to more detachment, their willingness to help dwindles, they go deeper into their introversion, and corruption occurs. To avoid becoming corrupted, INTJs need to allow others to fail without passing judgment. I know it's easier said than done. INTJs are meant to see down the line, not acting on their programming, can feel like drowning. Imagine someone walking through a minefield, and the INTJ is able to see those mines and tries to steer people to safety, but they are met with, "You have no way of knowing that, you're just trying to look smart." Or, "I know there are mines here, but I want to be able to solve it myself." I want all INTJs to pay attention to this last sentence. I want to be able to solve it myself. What INTJs need to know. INTJs absolutely need to give space for people to solve things on their own, and allow them to deal with the consequences, because most of the time it's how they learn. INTJs need to stop thinking they always know better because they can track outcomes better than anyone. This leads down a path of arrogance, closed-mindedness, and limitation, which weakens your NI and knowledge/database. Other people have their own specific attributes they bring to the world, and their mental energy is focused on that, whatever it may be, just not on future forecasting because that's the dominant NI domain. The bottom line. INTJs have the capability of steering and providing direction to the entirety of humanity. It is a massive undertaking. We need INTJs' minds to be as knowledgeable as possible, not only on empiric data and logic, but on emotional intelligence as well. Because the best solution is the one that considers both sides, the logical empirical truth, combined with the human holistic experience. But to do that, they have to allow others to fail without passing judgment, and acknowledge that everyone's role is of the same importance to the growth, development, and progression of humanity as a whole.
If you liked the video, please consider leaving a like and subscribing. That will allow us to keep making more videos like this. For more related content, please click on one of the suggested videos. Thank you for watching.